Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so we're gonna get into a little love tarot story, and then that this might be the last one I do tonight. I was gonna go back over to the other channel and do a couple of zodiacs, but we are having a late night pancake festival at my house, and I really want pancakes tonight. And so I may be lazy, rest my voice after this, and go join the pancake party. So, anyway, hi guys, nice to see you, darlings. So, for a love tarot story, by the way, all this week we'll start focusing on love stories, specifically as we, gravitate toward Valentine's Day. So, we'll start that series tomorrow. But we have a Six of Swords, we have a Six of Wands, so double sixes, and we have a Nine of Pentacles. In this case, we have a very single feminine, and she's actually rocking it right now. She was sad at one point, and I feel like this is fairly recent that she pulled up anchor and said, this is where I stop thinking about somebody. This is where I stop, holding space for somebody. This is where I stop myself from moving onward, and I let myself move onward instead. And it was a little bit of melancholy, and she may have had, a day or a night where, it was tough, but then it's like the sun broke through. We see her flying in both cases, right? She's here in like a pretty heavily laden cloud, but now we have her flying forward on her hummingbird with a feeling of success, and she's going where the sweet nectar is, and things are looking better and brighter, and she's realizing I made the right decision. I was able to move forward. Denisa, so good to see you, Angel. It's great to catch you. Hi, everybody. Jeannie Vale, Bridget, Manzi Halls, Annette Summersby, Angel Vibes, Ray Evelyn. Thank you, everybody. AC, thanks so much, you guys. Bridget, thank you. Great to hang out with you tonight. Forgive me if I cough. I was just out with Aries, and it's the weather is throwing me just a little bit. So hang in there a minute. If I start to cough, I'll turn away from the mic, but I can feel it coming. With that Four of Cups, I think what she's having is excuse me, she's having a realization from the universe that I had to move on from something, didn't I? It was an illusion. And I think because the universe is still, or her guide is still here talking to her, saying, this is awesome. You did move on. Now hold that thought, because you weren't blocked from having something that you wanted. You didn't miss out on anything. It really was an illusion. That wasn't the right path for you. And I think that the universe just wants her to really know that, or her guides want her to really know that, to encourage her to not wait on opening up the book of love again and turning the page. This feels like she's being strongly encouraged to open yourself up to love. The tendency oftentimes for characters is like, once they've healed from something, then they're like, okay, now I need to just be single for a while. I just healed from something. And in this storyline, the universe is like, no, you don't need to wait. In fact, that would be the wrong decision. That was an illusion. So you maybe were sad over it, but you were sad over, kind of like, never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. But there's no reason to be sad over an illusion. So don't eat up any time. You don't need to be in single land for a period of time. You are very dateable. And that seems to be the big encouragement here, is like, see yourself as dateable, see yourself as sexy and vivacious and wanting to date, because the universe is nudging her, saying there is an available emperor. Sorry, my boy is singing periodically tonight. The universe is trying to tell her there is somebody that I'm going to say has probably been available for a period of time. Maybe, I don't know if they've been waiting for her, or if they've just been, they're a catch and they're single at this moment in time. And so is she. And it's like, I feel like the universe wants to nudge her forward. Have you ever been in a really busy, small, deli shop? And you walk in and you can just tell one person who's maybe I'm 6 feet tall. So I know, what it's what it must be like to be short and petite and people can't see you amongst a crowd. And so I always kind of feel like it's my job to make sure that it stays fair. And like, since I could see the order in which people came in because I'm taller, you kind of nudge them forward and be like, no, no, you were next. Hey, catch the eye of the shopkeeper and be like, no, no, they were next. Sometimes you do that because you want to make sure that people don't fail to be seen. And I feel like that's what the universe is doing. Like, I'm trying to push you forward to the front of the counter. There's a really great emperor, and this is your turn. This is your time. Don't miss out on a great emperor. Don't put yourself in the back. This is going to require her to possibly like shift gears a little bit and drop the energy of like putting herself into a shy energy. She's going to need to like bust out and put on your sexy green dress, and she may look spectacular in deep forest green. Let your wild side, your fun flirtatious side out. She is witty, she is smart, and it says don't hold back in showing people that. And it doesn't say just get out there and only show that side to people that you want to flirt with. This says be the person that you were before you got sad. Be the person, reclaim that version of you, the person that you were before, you kind of felt like you got, I don't know, your heart put on a shelf or somebody isolated from you. And more or less, it feels like she got rejected by somebody who simply wanted to stay an island, meaning they didn't choose somebody else instead of her. They chose nothing. They want to be an island, the lone little palm tree on their tiny island. They didn't want to build with her. And it's like, it's you know what? There are times when people don't want anybody, and that's no disrespect to us. But it does say if that made her sad, and it maybe made her ask herself that question, like, oh, maybe was it me that, they found annoying, or should I, tamp down on my boisterous joy or something? No, 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 no. She, in all of her beauty and the thing that makes her vivacious and stuff, somebody's going to love that about her. She is not too much. She is not, I don't think that there's anything worse than being told that somebody is like too much. What it really boils down to is they're not too much. You're just not operating on their level. So don't blame another person for what you aren't. That immediately says there's something wrong with you. You're too much. No, keep it personal. If this person is like, look, I want to be an island. I like to be totally alone. I don't want anybody. That's them claiming it. But if they made her feel like somehow she's rejected because, you bring noise to my island, that's a beautiful thing. Whatever her natural state of being is, which I think is intelligent and loving and, vivacious and stuff, and somebody who's always growing and active mind and interesting conversation, she might have, I'm sorry, remember that the universe keeps telling her, the only reason I'm harping on this is the universe's big message is that was an illusion. You didn't miss out on somebody. They weren't the right one for you. Don't be sad over that person, especially if what they wanted was somebody that was really dull. They may have had the personality of pocket lint, and that's not her. But if she starts saying, I should probably confine myself, I should probably stay single for a while, work on shrinking my light, work on talking softer, work on being diminutive. This is like, F that. No, be yourself. Reclaim who you were before somebody made you feel like you were too much, or you need to be small, or you need to not be bright. The right person is going to love you just as you are. And wouldn't it be better to be the real you and have a partner who wants the real you than have to play a pretend you in order to be around people that find everything offensive? I'm sorry, but like, I'm not saying that's exactly what it was, but this message has to be part of it, because it's rare that the universe keeps harping on like, no, get loud, don't get quiet. No, be who you were before. Understand that that was a mistake. You weren't supposed to adapt to somebody else's smallness. You were supposed to continue on because the two of you didn't match. But that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. So don't go changing. With this, I know this is like a slow progress forward, but it is the Chariot, and this is her, I think, gonna, only emperors or empresses get to ride in their chariots, and she's headed toward an emperor. So definitely you need to be an empress. Empresses are bold. Empresses do not change the world by being tiny and being always agreeable and having the most, like wishy-washy. Empresses have opinions. They carve things out of solid blocks. They change the world. They change opinions because they believe in something. And if that's too loud for some people, yeah, some people don't want change. That's a them issue. But if she's going to match with an awesome emperor, she needs to be that empress that she actually is. She is an empress, but she was about to start shrinking herself. And the universe is like, oh, hell no, 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 no. You don't understand. Just up ahead, exactly who you are is going to be exactly the person who is looking for somebody like you. So don't temper that or give a pale imitation of who you are, because they won't notice you as the person that they're seeking if you come across as a false version of you. Five of Wands. There is still this question mark in her mind of, I don't know if this is somebody who has rarely felt like she's found a place that she belongs. With that Five of Wands in particular, it's like maybe she's been thinking about, how to, what different people expect her to be. And I wonder if that's the whole point. If she flips the script and says, have I found anybody that was enough for me? Okay, say I'm too much, but maybe I'm looking for someone who is enough for me, and maybe everybody else is falling short. They can say I'm too much, but maybe they're too little. And maybe I've never looked at it that viewpoint before. Maybe haven't dated people or met people who were passionate about what they wanted and who were emperors and who wanted to change the world for the better. And maybe that's what I've been looking for. This is all kind of like the nudge is for her to look at the world through her own lens for a moment. I mean, it's great to see the world through other people's lenses, but not to the point where we can't see our own self and say, but this is who I am. These are the things that suit me. I don't want to have to curtail who I am to pretend to be someone that I'm not. And this story is really encouraging her to do not do that. Do not curtail who you are. And flip the script. Ask yourself, have you ever really been satisfied with those partners? Instead of feeling rejected, maybe the truth of it is they knew that they didn't match with you. They weren't going to be able to keep up with you. Maybe not mentally, maybe not emotionally, maybe not sensually. In truth, maybe it's you who has outshined them, and that's why they wish that you would dim your light. Nope, nope, nope. This says it would be better to be solo and wait until you meet somebody that, I mean, literally, she is sitting here. She is the lighthouse, right? It would be better for her to not, if the option is I can be with somebody else, but only if I shrink myself down, or I can stay solo and I can be questing for someone who's a freaking lighthouse like I am, who shines that bright. I would say all day, pick this. Don't change. Keep looking for what really matches you so that you don't have to pretend to be somebody that you're not. Seven of Cups. Here's the crazy part. There's more out there for her to select from. There's also more things for her to be attending to than pure, romance as well. She has a lot going on in her life. All those stars in the night sky. Oh God, what is that song? Never Enough? I think that's the title of it, but it's from that movie that was a musical with Hugh Jackman. All the stars. Oh, I can't think. It starts out with something about all the stars in the sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of Gold. Something about, I can't remember. It's something about, kind of like the love story is more important than all these other things. Those other things would never be enough. They'd never compare. And I feel like she has a lot going on in her life and there's a lot more for her to do, but some of the real things that she'll get to build and grow will be with an emperor. And until she finds that star in the night sky, don't settle for somebody less than an emperor. So it's a big change in her mindset. Jeannie Vale, thank you, Angel. You're so generous. Thank you, babe. You guys are so generous. Jay Bunny, you're adorable. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Wendy E., the greatest showman. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you telling me the title of that film, a musical. That's what the song is from, by the way. So that's it. She's looking to her future now. This is more exciting. There is still a little feeling of being stuck, like she's not 100% like letting her angels guide her, but she is determined. Like, yeah, I am going to look to my future and I am excited and I do have a bunch of things that I want to do. The only thing is, universe, let me change decks for a second. Universe, you keep trying to tell her that there's this emperor. Is the emperor already around her? And she's kind of looking, out across the horizon and she's getting revved up and getting ready to, get busy in other aspects of her life, but keep her, options open and having this better mindset. I said, is the emperor nearby? We have a 10 of Pentacles. She has a wonderful opportunity right now. The emperor is somebody who has recently either found themselves kind of at loose ends. They have a ton to offer. They don't have somebody to offer it to. And frankly, she could use, what's that song? I Want to Be Loved Too Much. She could use somebody who's got a ton to offer, especially after coming out of this. Look, I don't know who the hell she was dealing with in the past, but this person feels so annoyingly shriveled, just like their emotions are shriveled and their ability to emit warmth is just nil. And, this feeling of I feel like it's somebody who doesn't even like food, whoever she was dealing with, they had none of the pleasures of life. I've met people like that. And they have a way of making everybody around them feel like you shouldn't love life either. And I just feel like that's who she was with. And if there is already an emperor somewhere right around her, and he needs somebody to share his light with and his too much energy with, and she's in need of that. She could use an emperor who's giving and loving and has, I don't know, maybe he had something similar where it's no matter what I tried with somebody, they didn't want what I had to offer. It was nothing but chaos. It's I couldn't do anything right. But frankly, look, this is who I am. This is what I've got to offer. I guess take it or leave it. She would be such a great match because she would so happily receive all of this from them. So hang on, universe, then how does she meet this person? How on earth does she meet this person? Two of Pentacles, Strength card. The universe says she doesn't have to look out across the horizon and picture, in 3 years' time, maybe I'll meet somebody and maybe I'll travel and maybe I'll do all these different things. This says, right where you are, feminine, meditate for just a moment, go out into a park, sit someplace and focus for a minute and envision what do you want? Picture the attributes that you want. Cowboy hat, baseball cap, whatever, but consider the qualities that you would want in someone and at least put it into a category where it's somebody who had these qualities or those qualities would be awesome. That'd be what I think would match well with me. And then the universe says, and then the next thing to do is think about you. What do you bring to the table? Who will you be to that person? And don't be shy about envisioning yourself, about what you want to give to a partner. I think it's such a great twist to say, what do I bring to the table? What would I like to do for a partner? How would I like to treat a partner? And obviously, as a lioness, she's well, I'd be the person who would be strong and be also, the protector, but also play a role that I want my complement to my energy, my strengths. I don't want them to think that I'm supposed to have the same strength as them. I bring different strengths to the table. I have different viewpoints. I bring the feminine side to things if she identifies as feminine. I bring, my strengths to the table will be different than theirs, but I'm every bit. I mean, think of like a lion and a lioness. I mean, they play different roles within the pride, right? But she knows exactly what she would want to bring to the table. When she's as ferocious and, if you want to watch a female lioness, man, they can throw down, they can fight. But then also this wonderful nurturing mothering energy if you see them with their cubs. I just feel like she's aware of, or if she sits and thinks about this for a moment, like, what would I bring to the table? A beautiful, ferocious, powerful, sophisticated, loving, blossoming kind of energy. That's what I would give to my partner. And it seems like if she can picture herself in those very favorable strengths that she possesses and claim it and say, that's who I want to be, that's also going to go light years to her understanding a little bit more about what kind of a partner do I really need to match with. Sometimes when we think of ourselves in a certain light, we begin to operate that way. We begin to interact with the world in a certain way. It's true. I am, in my lioness era, and I want to walk, like I am someone of consequence. And the way she starts to look at herself and conduct herself could also be the thing that flips on that switch that really sends out whatever the spidey senses or the pheromones that tell other people, I'm somebody you're going to want because you're going to want what I've got to offer you. She has to see herself in that light first, by first asking herself, what do I bring to the table? Who do I want to be in a connection? And as she sees herself in that light mentally, this is all kind of like a mental, like kind of like walking oneself through, that process of, like a guided meditation or a visualization thing. It's funny because I think that's going to change her external world. This seems to be, at least according to the universe, this is how she attracts the emperor. High priestess, it is definitely about a frequency shift because she's inside that quartz crystal now. And that high priestess is able to send out the subconscious energy, or maybe we could say the intuitive energy or the instinctual energy. She is going to be like a freaking beacon. that's what I would say. This feminine, she needs a t-shirt that says freaking beacon, because that is what she is. She will be calling in her prowling, I'm sorry to put it in animalistic terms, but this is mating season all of a sudden. And so once upon a time, and I've told this before on my other channel, I'm sure at least once, maybe twice in the whatever, like 6 years I've been doing this, but my uncle had a pen, a pig that would always get out of his pen, and his name was Nick. And when it was rutting season for the pigs, my uncle's property was like kind of down in the lowlands along the waterfront, but then up a hill that was like very typical, countryside, like, waving grains of wheat. There was a neighbor who had a lady pig, and he would make a beeline for her. And he would always bust out of his pen because he was a randy little piggy. And as he would make a beeline for her, the way we would find out is we would see, like, almost like in the movie Tremors or something, you would see the wheat, the grasses moving as he like scurried his way up. And it was a pretty long, like probably quarter mile. But he would chug his little way. And we as kids would have to be tasked with like, go stop him. Don't let him mate with their pig. They don't want him to do that. And so we'd have to try to get to him before he could get to his lady piggy. And the thing is, like, how do they know? They live in different areas. They're, quite a distance apart. They don't cohabitate. How do these piggies know when it's mating season? And I'm not trying to say that this is just pure animal instincts, but on the other hand, I think it's a beautiful thing that we are animals as well, and so I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as like, maybe it's pheromones, maybe it's the right time, but you notice the big thing here is she's done being heartbroken, and she is in her high vibrational, I'm not too much, I'm just right for the right person. Here's what I really am. I'm a freaking lioness. Some people will not want a lioness. That will not suit them. She will be too much for them. They will not be able to have the same level of passion or desire, but she is sending out the signals. If you want a lioness, come get me. And I'm going to say this is the equivalent of we always said Nicholas the pig, his lady was Penny, Penny and Nick, like a nickel and a penny. So I'm just going to say she is the penny to this Nick. And I'm going to say that he is, I think that the Emperor is going to catch it and like head her way. Okay. I don't know if he smells her on the wind. I don't know what it is, but the energy, and this is purely something that is intangible. It is the invisible thing that flips on when we go, I'm single, I am available, and if you want the lioness, come get me. She may as well have printed it, across the sky and skywriting because he's getting the memo. I feel like she's probably going to notice all of a sudden that with this mindset, this sense of self awareness that she has, she is emitting a signal that probably more than one masculine will pick up on. But that is the secret sauce to calling in that partner. They are coming from wherever they are. And I am literally picturing, this is such a great card because it's like when we would see Nick head up through the grasses and oh my God, he's going to go get the penny again. Only this time it's a good thing. We don't have to stop these two. So crazy because he's been in hanged man energy. He's been waiting for some kind of a signal. He's been waiting, not necessarily a signal from her. He, as an emperor, has been like, I'll know it when I see it. I'll know it when I'm in proximity to somebody that like really wakes me up. I'll know it when I spot an empress. I'll just sense it. And I just haven't found anybody that woke me up like that. He's been waiting to be woken up by her signal. In this storyline, it is the feminine who has to turn on the bat signal and say, come here, this is where I'm at, for the masculine to make their move. But here's the thing. The most important aspect of all of this is the feminine has to like herself. This is not an angry feminine. This is not somebody who's secretly still wounded. This is somebody who is actually saying, I'm really high vibrational. I really am okay with the fact that somebody else wasn't my match. Somebody else didn't want me. Even to be able to say that and not be stung by it is a really like good test of like, yeah, no, it doesn't bother me. They didn't want me because I wasn't the match for them. I wasn't the, what they were seeking. They didn't want a lioness. But I am a lioness and I like me just fine. That has to be not just lip service. It has to be the real thing. And I think when she's in that headspace, that's when she's at her best. She accepts her. She's not going to be tempted to play small anymore. And she's not trying to pretend that she's not wounded by something and carrying a chip on her shoulder. She truly is okay with it. When she gets to that point and she is, sending out the bat signal, that's when she's going to meet that emperor. I don't think it's going to be that hard for this to happen or this difficult for her because I think she's already in that mindset. This has just been the little nudges from the universe, like giving her those final, like, psst, hey, we know you're liking your life, but think about one other thing here. Consider something else. You've got a powerful light and somebody wants it. Welcome them in. That's what she's being nudged all through this storyline to do. And I think it's definitely going to happen. I think she's getting there really quickly. And then we see almost an immediate reaction. Like, I feel as if, I feel like all this time, that was the like change in mindset that she had to get to in order to attract somebody that is like her real mate. Her real mate is strong and is, they have a personality, they have opinions, and they have things that they like. Her real mate is somebody who moves toward what they want with confidence. Her real mate has been out there, but in all honesty, she was waiting on somebody that wasn't her mate. And now she's not waiting on them anymore. That's a great message, especially for like the, figuring out, I guess, what is it that allows a character to attract the partner that's really right for them. Like that's really the story that we just told here. And it made perfect sense, at least to my brain in this. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much. It's really nice to see everybody this evening. Ray, Evelyn, thank you, honey. Moonbeam Wendy, great to see you. George Jem, thanks for being here. Trevors, yeah, that was such a fun movie. Nick in Australia, thank you. I will. It's not just pancakes; it's pancakes with berries too. So, I have to go participate in the pancake party that's happening out there. Wendy E, thank you so much, babe. Jay Galagria, thank you for being here. Love your name. Saturn Nation, hi. That's a great name too. Saturn Nation, I love it. You guys are awesome. Brave Pink Hero Green, wonderful to see you. AC, wonderful to catch you tonight, babe. Thank you so much. It's been great to hang out with you today. Happy Monday. Beautiful G, hi, sweetie. Hi, April. You're singing the song. I love it. You guys are awesome. You know all the lyrics, April. Oh, that's wonderful. Hi, Jeannie Vale. AC, you're singing also. I love the fact that everybody is so musically inclined on these channels. Like I think you guys probably, if I met all of you in real life, we would probably all be busting out random songs and everyone would just do like a kind of an organic sing-along. I feel like everybody on these channels, you guys are all so quick with the lyrics and the artist names and such, and I'm like, it's so fun to be around people that also love music. Linear Maya, hi sweetheart. Jeannie Vale, thank you again, honey. So generous of you. Astrodnoid, hi honey. Angel Vibes, again, thanks for being here. And RT, great to catch you tonight. All right, you guys. Mia Carter, hi, babe. Thanks for popping in. Anisha Chatu, good morning, honey. I hope your day starts out wonderfully. Annette Summersby, always such a pleasure, hun. Thanks for being here. Yes, Astronoid. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So technically, I always say that I'm 6 feet tall. I'm actually like 5'11 and 3/4, but I refuse to be afraid to round up to the 6 foot mark just because that feels like I'm running from it. And I'm like, nah, I wear heels in the whole 9 yards. I don't care. When you've been tall your whole life, at some point, you just go, you know what? You can see stuff at concerts. This is kind of awesome. The payout, the trade off is worth it. Thanks again, Bridget. Manzi Halls, great to hang with you tonight. Alchemist 1111, I'm sorry, I almost missed you there. And GOSC 10P, wonderful to see you too, babe. Lauren Co, hi, sweetheart. Thank you for the bouquet. You're so sweet. All right, everybody. Vertical Rising, hey. We are just wrapping up. Godzilla MC, nice to see you. The Ashley Calibre, thank you guys. Eduardo Jimenez. Aw, happy birthday, babe. I hope it's been amazing. That's wonderful. So you are officially celebrated your solar return, and now the next adventure begins. That's wonderful. Leah Jeannie Vale, I love it. Wendy E, I'm used to being tall, but I'll be honest, in my next life, I want to be barely 5 feet. I want to have all the cute shoes, little teeny tiny feet. I want tons and tons of curly, curly, curly black hair. I want exactly everything opposite of what I am. I want that in my next life. I think it would be so lovely. Oh, the most beautiful shoes, the most beautiful. As a size 11 foot, you don't get to wear the most beautiful shoes. And I covet beautiful shoes for sure. So my next life. Famey Chosen One, great to see you. Katarina Johnson, you're so sweet. All right, you guys. Lots of love. I'm gonna go. Oh, Wendy, yes. I have totally straight hair. It's totally. I have to curl my hair every single day with hot rollers. And this is what it looks like after I've been out in the weather, or just even when the weather changes, it just goes flat again. It crimps easily though. If I go to bed with like wet hair, it will definitely take on some shape and body. But otherwise, oh my god, I don't know what I do without hairspray and hot rollers. It drives me nuts. I want big hair. My whole life, I wanted the biggest, curliest hair I could get, and it's like it's impossible. Johnny the car nut, so good to see you. That's awesome. You're a musical guy too, and you're a drummer. I didn't know that. Johnny the Cornet, that's awesome. That is so coordinated. That's amazing. AC, as someone with curls, you go for a bit more manageable hair. You know, I completely understand we all have our thing, but I gotta say, I can guarantee you I would bow to your beautiful curls and I would be like, could I please, will you make me a wig so that I can have your gorgeous hair? Like, I would beg you of that. Bequeath me a wig someday so that I can finally experience the hair that I want to have because I just think it's so spectacular. So I get it. We all have our things that we want to try the opposite of what we know, but oh man, I covet curly gorgeous hair all the time. So you guys, thank you. It's so nice to hang out with you. You guys are such an absolute delight. I so enjoy your guys' company. Your humor is so nice. Alchemist 1111, your sister is 411. Sure, that would be perfect. I'll do a little swapperoo, a little Freaky Friday in my next life with your sis. If she wants to be tall anyway, we can rotate. It's almost impossible to find pants long enough. 34 inseam is that's hard to find. And I finally have found they started finally making longer inseams, but I used to always have to unhem all my pants and then you have raw edges just so they would like at least touch the top of my shoes. uh, she wants to be tall and then her next life. All right, then it's a deal. I think I hope AC and I have just agreed in the next life we are hair swapping, and then in the next life I will swap height with your sister, and everyone gets what they want. You guys are so awesome. All right, you guys. Wendy E, I hear you. Uh, it's so funny because in my family, like we're all blonde, but most of us ended up with like really, really blonde eyelashes and eyebrows. And so I didn't myself, and one sister ended up with faint eyebrows. But the older I got, the more I realized one day somebody said to me, well, you should draw your eyebrows on. And I was like, I didn't know I was supposed to. And so I didn't start doing that till I was like 20. And I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely glad that I started to do that because a faint eyebrow, I just thought by comparison, because people in my family don't have eyebrows, I thought I had eyebrows. I didn't know how minimal they really were. So it's kind of fun how you learn stuff as you go. AC, thank you. I'm delighted. I look forward to our next life and our swapperoo. It's gonna be fun. You guys, thanks everyone. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I think I will probably end here because I can feel I'm gonna start to cough again, and it's pancake time. So late night pancake party, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.